Welcome back to the GTS Jonas channel. I am Jonas, and in today's video, we will be ranking the eras of CM Punk. And when I say this, I mean the character, the look, the person he was on screen outside of his matches. Now, I am eligible for this job as a CM Punk fan and a defender. If you're Parker, you might say that I'm a Glazer, but I'm not. Alright? So, we'll be going from his pre-WWE days to his departure and to his return. But yeah, so basically, like I said, not a too in-depth of a video. Do not go too in-depth of what I say. I'm really just talking about how he looks and his character at the time, alright? First up, we got ROH CM Punk, his start in stardom, if you could say. One of the coolest looks that he has ever had. The jacket is one of my favorite things that he debuted. I love the wrist tape, obviously. The blonde hair, even though he only had it for a short time, it looks really good in this photo, and it just, at the time, it did. There's also different variations of this time with different colored shorts, sorry. But overall, I do like the way this looked. It really gave him that edgy Punk feel with, the long, greasy hair, the jacket, and then obviously the tattoos and the soon-to-come piercings. But yeah, like I said, great. That jacket, it just always finds a way to come back into his feud. For example, All In London, he wore it in his match against Samoa Joe. For the freaking January 6th Netflix debut, he wore it in his match against Seth. And he's really gone back to the windbreakers recently. In, the Night of Champions match, he wore one, and in the SummerSlam match, he wore one. But, I do like this. I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. Not the greatest, not the worst, for sure. Next, we got the ECW debut, the real debut of the Chicago version. You got the Chicago trunks that he's wearing. Stopped wearing the jackets, not as much at least. Obviously, winning the World Championship in WWE ECW. Still got the long hair, got a little bit longer of a beard. He looked really grizzled, if you know what I mean. Like, he looked edgy, like I said. I mean, it makes sense. He's a punk. That's where punk comes from. But like this era, as I said, is one of his greatest in retrospect. Is that the right? I don't think that's the right word. I don't know. But like, if you look back on, it's a great era for him. It really brought him out as a star. He was getting the chance on like the main shows, I'm pretty sure. He was the ECW Superstar of the Year for like 2 years in a row, and then eventually he went to the main roster, which we'll get into a second here. But this look gets a 7 out of 10. It's a good look, but not as characterized as the ROH look was. Next, we got the 2009 main roster Punk. This specifically WrestleMania 25. I didn't go perfectly in order of events, I don't think, because I think this and the next one are flip-flops. It's supposed to be WrestleMania 24, but because he went back-to-back. Long black hair, the jet black hair. The goatee, the freaking... I'm pretty sure this is like his second year on the main roster on SmackDown or Raw, whatever he was on. I think it was SmackDown. Yeah, I mean, he looked like a monster, to say the least, and at the time he was a great character, great look. He was hated by so many, bro. Like, it was just the immense heat, to put it in simple words. Solid 7 out of 10 again. Simple era, nothing crazy, but then eventually kickstarted the world champion CM Punk, where he cashed in on Edge and Jeff Hardy twice, like 1 year and then the other. This, I believe, was after Hardy. But like, dude, that shirt that he's wearing in that photo, I love that shirt. But now they only make it in Pro Sphere, which is freak. What's the material? The plastic one. The one's made out of plastic. That one's weird. So I just don't. I didn't buy it, or I don't want to be honest. But he's got the wrist tape. He's got the X's. He's got the long hair, and he's got the piercings to start. He's got the World Heavyweight Championship, which I love on Punk. To be honest, I just think that looks better at the time. Then I mean, I don't know. I feel like the World Heavyweight Championship always looks better for Punk. I think the WWE Championship in 2011 obviously looks great because we all know the storyline that happened there. But this is a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Just like I said, the long hair, the stubble on his chin, the wrist tape, it's just so clean, and he was destroying people at the time. Literally, if you don't know the Jeff Hardy like storyline, oh my god, I cannot put it into words. It was just he was nonstop going after Jeff Hardy in a mental way that I it go like looking back on it, because I was like 3 when this happened. God, I don't know how they got away with half the stuff he was talking about. Like, I'm not gonna go into depth here, but if you want to look it up, I mean, it's not like crazy bad, but like we all know, it's touchy subject for Hardy. But so yeah, this gets a 9 out of 10. Or did I say 8? I don't know. I meant to say 9. Whatever I said. 9 out of 10. Great shirt. Great championship. Great everything at this time. And then we will go to. This is probably not the best picture I could have picked for it, but I think it kind of sums it up. Straight Edge Society. If you don't know, Punk is straight edge. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. His addiction is wrestling, which I love that promo. I'm gonna play it at my wedding. But he at the time was paired up with Luke Gallows and Serena Deeb. That's a deep pull. He lost a hair versus mask match against Rey Mysterio. Another great rivalry there, singing happy birthday to Aaliyah, I believe that was this rivalry. Just another time where he was just a straight piece of crap to people around him. He was trying to like bring them to the light of a sober life, which is, I mean, not a bad thing. I don't know. But the way he was doing it was interesting. He lost the hair versus mask match, so he put on this mask on one of the shows, and I mean, I don't know, I thought it was funny. But before that match, he had the long black hair, the piercings, the really grown out goatee, the all black outfits. Like, it was a cool look, cuz he looked evil. He looked like a mastermind. Like, he was always grinning at the hard cam people who he was talking to. It was always he felt so evil, and he was playing such a good heel at the time. But for the looks wise, I mean, it's not the greatest. Like I said, bald Punk isn't my favorite thing. I like the 2011 slick back. I think that looks tough. But I'm gonna give this CM Punk a solid 7 out of 10. Just because the character work, great. The outfits, fine. But I mean, he was just the best thing he could. The best work that he's done as a heel is this, and freaking like this is just such good heel work. I know I'm in a minority there, I'm pretty sure. I know people don't really like this that much, but I liked it, alright? But maybe it's just because I was younger, son. Well, you know what I'm saying. Alright, never mind. Alright, next one. I mean, 10. Like, come on. The blue, the white, the red of the Chicago flag all over his gear, so clean. The slick back, so clean. The kind of like stubble of a beard, so clean. Just the best look from Punk, the best era of Punk, the summer of Punk. Well, technically the second summer of Punk, because we all know ROH had a summer of Punk. The tattoos going all across the chest now, the arms being fully sleeved, like just so, just I don't know. He just looked tough. He looked sick. The John Cena storyline, the whole freaking Money in the Bank 2011, stealing the title away from Vince, blowing the kiss. Just such good work, such good storyline. Like, you can, if I don't care if you hate CM Punk, you want him to die. You cannot deny that this is one of the greatest things that has ever happened in the WWE. I don't care. I will die on that hill. I do not care. One of the greatest storylines in the history. The history of the WWE. I don't care. But like I said, alone, I know we said not match work, but with the match work with Cena, the storyline with Cena, the gear was so sick. The way he played the character at the time, just the pipe bomb. How did I almost forget that? The pipe bomb. Like, if you hate the pipe bomb, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's the greatest promo, bro. I I will die on that hill. I do not care. This is the greatest era of CM Punk we've ever seen, and that's why it's getting a 10. If I could, I'd give it a 50. Like, it's just pinpoint perfect. It's just a work of art. It's just the greatest of all time. And that's why Parker thinks I'm a glazer. But yeah, so 10 out of 10, 100%. There's no doubt about it. If you do not agree with me, argue with a wall. All right. Next, we got the AEW. This isn't his AEW return, but it's AEW. The AEW return, he just looked like 2010. Let's be honest. But throughout his AEW run, he had great matches. I know we said it wasn't good, but great matches. But he also had some really good throwback stuff, like this jacket with the Larry head instead of the skull. We also had him come out to his old theme song. I'm not going to say the name because I know I'm going to butcher it, but I'll pop it up on screen. When he had his dog collar match against MJF at freaking Revolution. Was it Revolution? I think it was. Yeah. If you haven't watched that match, go watch that back. If you haven't watched his World Championship match at All Out, go watch that back. If you haven't watched his match at Forbidden Door against, was it No, it wasn't Tanahashi. I can't remember the name, but go back and watch that match. It's insanely great. The thing that sucks is that even though he left for the better of drama, because there was drama, I will not deny he did instigate fights. Besides Jack Perry. Jack Perry, I hate you. He just had way better matches than don't get me wrong. The matches he's had so far have been pretty good. But, like, the track record of the AEW ones. Look at this belt. I'm pointing the wrong way because my camera's inverted. But this belt, I was there when he spray painted it. Hartford, Connecticut. XL Center. Fun fact. They put my sign on screen, so I was on AEW. But yeah, just a great. This is one of my favorite matches too. Don't forget this one. All in London, Samoa Joe, great match. But I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Now, don't get me wrong, it's great, but nothing's beating 2011. I'm sorry, nothing's beating 2011. So. Next one, we got the WWE return, the night that hell froze over, the night that I was literally screaming, but no noise came out because I couldn't believe it. All right, this, if you showed this to anybody in 2015, they'd think you're a liar. They'd think that you made this up, because how? After all the things that happened with Vince and Punk and AJ and firing him on their wedding day, and then if they even knew about him going to AEW and having a decent career there, they'd think you're lying. So, dude, even though we didn't see this version come back ever, like literally, I don't think we saw the short hair after his return. Dude, it's I want to give it a 10 because it's my GOAT coming back to the company, but I can't give it a 10 because it was literally just kind of promo. It's like few promos, which promo with Cody, banger, don't get me wrong. But then he got injured, so I'm going to give it a 8, because the return, what? It's the greatest return of this century, I don't care. The promo with Cody, one of the greatest of the year. It was up for best promo. I'm pretty sure at the Slammies if they did that, but I know Stash Club did it. Shout out Stash Club. I think I don't know. We did it on the podcast. We put it up there. Um, I mean, it's just there's no denying that he's one of the greatest on the mic. But yeah, so solid 8 because I mean he didn't have any matches besides the Rumble where he got injured. But he had great promos, great mic work, like always, great return, just a lot of great things. Let's be honest. Um, finally, or no, not finally. I lied. My bad. We got his in-ring return after the Royal Rumble at SummerSlam 2024 against Drew McIntyre with special guest Seth Rollins. Referee, sorry. The pink trunks, always one of my favorites because, you know, it's a hint at Brett. It looks sick, you know, the really bright pink with the dark black, always dope. The slick back, the beard. I mean, it's just he looks good, all right? I don't care. Seeing him come out in the gear for this match at the stadium, people were losing their minds, all right? Santi Zepp, I'm pretty sure, said he almost cried, and I don't blame him. Bro, this was insane to see. He didn't win the match. I won't lie, he didn't win. But great look. He did fine in the match. I mean, he just came off injury, so it's not like he was going to be doing springboard 450s. I mean, he's never done that. But he stayed with the classics. He came out. He was wearing the jacket, not the ROH jacket. The Chicago flag with the fist holding the lightning bolt. He was wearing that, and dude, the high boots, just always so sick to see. But I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Dude, this was such a great relief when I saw him come back to the ring, and then the next day he wasn't injured. Oh my god. I was so happy, I can't even lie. But now, the highest of highs turns into the lowest of lows. Winning the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam 2025. Man, I was happy. Man, I was happy. The gear, the gear 10 out of 10. The gear itself, 10 out of 10. The Fantastic Four, the same week as Fantastic Four came out. Bro, the blue and white and just the jacket in his entrance. I'll hopefully pop it up on screen. He was locked in, man. Dude, this is where the night ended for me. This is where I left the room and I was like, yep, SummerSlam's over. Nothing else happened after this, alright? Nothing. Man, just the match itself. I know, I said the matches wouldn't come into play and then I mentioned it for like 4 of them. But this match itself with Gunther, so good. So good. The way, I know this is after the matches ended, but when he came in, he looked sick. He was hyped up. The championship, bro, it looked so good with him, but he didn't get to keep it for some reason. Seth Rollins, I hate you. But I gotta give it a 9. It's not gonna, like I said, nothing's beating Money in the Bank 2011. I gotta give it a 9, just because. If you, I'll count this as just like 2025. January Royal Rumble, he should have won. Frick you, Logan Paul, for eliminating him. He did great in there. February, whoa, voice crack. It wasn't really January, it was February. But March, we had the Chamber where we got the first little instance of Cena and Punk running it back. Great in there too. We then had freaking Mania with that banger of a triple threat in the end of night 1. So good. We then had June, which he didn't really do. He wasn't in a program then. July, Money in the Bank. No, he didn't do anything. Oh, no. July was this, right? Yeah, July was Night of Champions where he fought Cena. Great match there too. And then August. Or no, that was June. My bad. July didn't do much. August. This happened in August. And later that night, Seth Rollins would crush my hopes and dreams of CM Punk winning the World Championship. So, But thanks for letting me yap. That's the end. That's the last. That's the last look. That's the last era. Um, yeah, I mean this probably wasn't the greatest video, but I don't care. Okay, sue me. All right. But follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to my podcast. Subscribe here and turn on notifications so you never miss another upload. And I will see you in the next one.